right, so to see what we got running, so we connect to the remote server, the RDP, and down here on the toolbar, so here's the task manager, here's the task scheduler, all right, so when you do the scheduler, all right, it'll come up here by default. We click on the library, there is the agent. So if you want it to stop or run, you right click, you can end it, run it, whatever. That's the only thing we use the task scheduler for. Here's the firewall. If we need to add or remove firewall settings, you would click on inbound rules and new rule. And if you want to do a program, okay, and then you can look for a program. But generally what we do is we just click on a port. We want to open up port 13389, whether it's TCP or UDP, and allow the connection and all three, and you just give it a name and it'll show up here. So let's see what else we got here. Here's the PowerShell that we're going to create some scripts that we can leave right here that can be used. Here's the Hive log. We don't need that open. So you started this game in the foreground, and this game is the 1526. So when they start in the foreground, you can see what they do. So this is the only reason we would do this. So if you go to the right, it's in OGP64 home game server. You can select on the server and here's our server start bat. So if you click that, the server starts. It starts in the foreground and edit. One of the first things it does is to start the also ran. So if it doesn't run the PEC, you can start this. When it restarts, it should restart in the agent in the background. That's where we want these things to run. Because what happens is when they run in the foreground, they're running in a screen. So they get detached. When they crash, this screen doesn't stay attached to them. And then the screen is dead. It'll say dead or detached. And the button doesn't work in the panel. So the solution is, right, so I did screen list to do that. So you'd type screen minus wipe, and then this number right here, the beginning of the number, and that's the one that we wiped that would kill it. But these are detached, which is what you want. So here's the, if you click on details, it shows you the output. So here's the 1526 server that's running in the foreground, and this is the 1526 server that's running in the background. So we have two of them running with this one here. So I had started it. You must have already started it, or you came here and started it. I had already started it in the background. So just because you don't see it here doesn't mean it's not running. See, now it starts up again because of that server, the server start file. If it crashes, it goes down through to the bottom and it says, hey, we crashed, let's restart. So You kill it again. If it dies twice in 60 or 90 seconds, well, it must be shorter than that now. So kill it. Man, you got to kill it a couple times quick. See, this is, we don't want them running in the foreground ever. I can't even stop this one. This is absurd. There we go. Finally. We'll have to see what the timeout is for that. So let's see. So now you can see, you don't see a server running. This is running though, but it's running in the background. And for some reason, that BEC doesn't want to stay running. But if I go to open file location, I can start the BEC right here by running the also run back. And it's running in the foreground, but when it restarts, it'll run in the background. So let's see what this edit notepad. So when it starts, right, it comes down here, sets a time, and then it runs the also run, right? And then here's our server to start. When it crashes, when the server stops, it goes through here and it kills the PID file for the also run. And then it goes through and sets the times and it checks here. If we've pushed the button, this file right here is going to exist. See, we don't have it here because we didn't push the button. If we push the button, this file is going to exist and it's going to quit. We didn't push the button, so it crashed, or Daisy BEC stopped it. So it's just checking. If it's been less than 60 seconds since the last time it started, it should, but this timeout is too long. So I got to change that timeout. So that should just be 1. So, okay. So here's an issue. Let's watch. Why doesn't the BEC stay running on 1526? So the first thing we're going to do is CFG. No, it's not in CFG. It's in BEC. The first thing we're going to want to do is change the config. I don't want to wait. Config. I don't want to wait 60 seconds. So we're going to change this down so it restarts in 6 seconds. All right, let's check the paths. 1526, config BattleEye, good path. Port 8000, port server. That's good. So let's watch what happens. So we go back up here and let's click the also run and let's see what it says. Doesn't say anything. So the solution to that is open up the command. Let's get rid of the command. We want the, oh, because that was what started this. Let's run here. So CD upspace pwd cd game server cd 1526 list cat. Also run oh, the start command isn't found. All right, so it's hard to run some of these things um, in the CYG bin. So CD C OGP 64 home game server 1526. Oops. I copied the $sign. All right. So term B's. So why doesn't this? Oh, I got it. CD BEC. The term BEC is not recognized. Hmm. So this is the only reason we use the foreground. So let's see what see if the logs say anything. So it is not connecting. 647, yeah, that's when I started it. So it's not connecting. So where are we? Config, battle eye. So this is not starting. So let's close this. All right. Oh, that was the one we were running, wasn't it? So now let's just run the server start and see what happens. So it starts the BEC. Ah, shit, I didn't change that to. All right, so now this is running. Run the also run. Okay, so it joined now that time, so that was good. So now let's kill this end process tree. Whoops. Killed the armor 3. All right, so we have to change this BEC back to 60 seconds. So now if I go back to the panel, and I go to this server. See, these are all supposed to be Arma 2 servers. We're back to where we started, where they're not going to be working right because they're all right. So now we start it, and let's go see what happens in here. So the BEC starts first, and then this starts. And this is going to be running. The BEC should stay running, and it's connected. There's our server. Now, here's the problem is we only got one server running, right? So this one here, the 1527, is not running. But the button is not going to be working because it's right there. So it's hung up. 16,598. Okay. So we'll come back in a couple minutes and check that. So now if we go to the other one, whoops, epoch mod. See, it says it's running. See, why is everything running so many freaking times? So let's see what's in the 1527. Got the also run. It's got the server start. Let's get rid of the old startup file. Now up here on the server, it should have a server stopped. See, when you click the stop button, it stops. There's the server stopped. Okay, so now let's see. So this did not want to start. It does not connect to the database, and we know that because somebody changed the database password. All right, so we can't join this because if we go up here, MySQL, and we go to panel, and let's see, here's MySQL databases, 1527. This is the password. All right, for this database, but somebody's changed it. So let's go to, so the database can't log in. I don't know if we can change that in the gamer, edit, path, Archon password, FTP password, no. All right, so by changing that password, so now what I need to do is change this password in here to user 1527. User accounts. Server 1527, edit privileges, change password, Control V, go. All right, and that was for the from all servers. Now let's do it to localhost so that you can log in to right here at MySQL. Change password, Control V, go. Now, if we go back here, back to game monitor, SQL database, select the database. Now I can log into the database because the password that is set as the user is also set in the database to save this. So now we're going to have to go up here to (1527) CFG Hive INI edit no, and all right, so we're logging into MySQL on the 3306 with the 1527 user, and let's set the password to the correct password. Save. All right, so now this works here. Back to the game monitor. Now when I start this, if I go up here, it should start here. Okay, so since it did not start here, unless it's got a different... All right, so now what we're going to do, because this did not want to start, we're going to hit stop. And it's probably not going to stop because, oh, there it did. Oops. So if we go back here, let's see, make sure these are gone. Yeah, see, so we stopped it, so this detached. So now let's start it in the foreground and watch it and see what it's doing. See what it's missing. Server start, right? Also run bat. We'll start whatever else we want to run. So it's going to run that. Windows cannot find BEC. So that's an issue for that. Why can't it find BEC? What is this saying? This is saying that Team 27. Okay, so it starts here. So what is this saying? Oh, well, that'll tell you right there because there is no BEC here. So how about that? So why didn't that start before? It must have, it hung up because of that error. When one of those little boxes comes up, let me show you. See this box right here? When this comes up and a server is running in the background, this is the only reason we need to run something in the background. So look, here's the file. There is nothing going on. It waits until this gets clicked. So I think there is a method around that we have to use on these files. But as soon as you click it, then it starts the server. So that's what's holding that one up. So simple fix, BEC, BEC, copy, BEC, paste. Let's close that because we're going to start it normally. Now we have to set our config. All right, port 8000. No, this is running on port 2500. See, these are wrong because I copied it from the other server. All right, we got to give it the right path, which is 1527. And that's it. Control S to save. Close. Yeah, I want to save that. No, I don't want to save that. I want to close that. Empty ring. Okay, so now if we come down here and start it, now it's going to start both and it will be running. There it is. They're running on 1527. Here's the BEC. Screen list. There's our two servers are running. They will stop when we use the button. All right, so if we want to, let's see what, well, let's click right here for it. 1527, open file location. And let's see, we should have a screen. Config, server log, server config. I mean, this is our regular log. Connected to the Steam servers. All right, so we need to, in the server config, so they don't set that always, but there should be a console output log. And let's see, we can get rid of all these files here. Um, all right, so let's verify again. There it is. So now when I start this, this is written out of the agent writes this every time you start the server. When you press start, it writes this. So I don't want it to wait that long. Well, maybe I do. Let's see. It stops. So this is how long it waits. After it stops, crashes, it waits, and it says, okay, here we're going to have to restart. So it waits 30 seconds to restart everything. That's probably too long. But this needs to be longer. So that if it crashes, right, it'll start up and it'll crash. So we'd really want to do like 1 minute and 60 seconds, which would be 2 minutes. I wonder if we can do, that'd be neat to find out. We should experiment and see if we can put 90 seconds in there. Does it reset the seconds? Second is, yeah, we should put some output here and see if, when it goes to the minute, if it resets the seconds or it counts that all the time. So, all right. So what I would do there is if I wanted to change that. So let's go to, well, let's add this to our, I don't know why this is not in the OGP 64. Let's put the OGP 64 pinned to quick access. All right, so now it's right there. So right here is the agent start and stop. We don't use those though, because they're on the server or on the, it's running on the task scheduler. So we start the task scheduler, click on the agent, right click on it, end. I want to end all instances. Servers, the agent is now not running. So now I'm going to edit in OGP folder the Perl file that runs the agent. Edit. So control find auto run also. So here is the part that creates that batch file every time you start the server. And right here is our timeout of 30 seconds. Let's change that to 15. Save. Close. Go back to the task scheduler and start. So that is our Windows game server management. So now we got these two running. They should be no problem. Everything's going good.